Hello everybody, this is Mr. Longo. This video is going to cover the triangle angle theorems. So there are two main theorems when we talk about angles of a triangle that we're going to use. One of them is called the angle sum, which everybody should already know. All three angles of a triangle will add up to 180 degrees. But the one that's a little tricky, the first time you hear about it, is called the exterior angle theorem. And what that means is these two angles that are farthest away from the exterior angle will equal that exterior angle. But when you use some numbers, it's easy to see why. So let's just pretend angle W is equal to 60, and let's pretend that X is 40. Nice, easy numbers to work with. If a triangle adds up to 180 degrees, 60 plus 40 is 100, we are missing 80 degrees. Now we have to go back to what we learned at the beginning and see that we have two angles that make a straight line, which is known as a linear pair. And a linear pair are supplementary. So if this guy is 80, this one becomes 100. And as you can see, 60 plus 40 is 100. And so is Z. That's why it works. So those are the two properties you get to apply to three practice problems. You probably know how to do these now that we just talked about what each thing does. So press the pause button on this video, give these three examples a try. As soon as you're ready, click play and we'll go. So this is a each angle type of problem, which means we know all three have to add up to 180 degrees. It's the triangle sum theorem. So all we have to do is add these up. So we have 10x minus 20, and we set that equal to 180 degrees. Solve for x, we're going to get x is equal to 20. Once you solve for x and know that x is equal to 20, the problem says find each angle. So all you have to do is substitute 20 in for each x and solve. So 2 times 20 is 40 plus 10 is 50 degrees for angle A. Angle B, 3 times 20 is 60 minus 10 is 50 degrees. And finally, we have 5 times 20 minus 20 is equal to 80. And we can see that this is an isosceles and acute triangle, if you will, because we have two of the same angles and we also have three that are less than 90 degrees. But we can also check that 50 plus 50 plus 80 is also 180 degrees, so we know we did that one correctly. Okay, so if you got 50, 50, and 80, you are good to go on question number 1. Question number 2 requires just a little bit of thinking outside of the box. Again, we have two angles, so we could have done this one by saying 40 plus 60 is 100, so this guy is 80, similar to what we did in one of the examples above. However, we're not looking for this exterior angle. We learned in Unit 1 that vertical angles are congruent, so that angle on the right side of the bow tie is also 80 degrees. So 80 plus 30 is 110, meaning we are missing 70 degrees for x to add up. So each one of these triangles individually has to add up to 180 degrees. Okay? And finally, the last example you had is an example of exterior angle theorem, and then substitution and kind of work your way through it. So there's two different ways you could have found the measure of angle 1. So, as the exterior angle theorem says, these two remote interior angles are going to add up to have the same sum as the exterior angle all by itself. So we're just going to add those together. We have 3x plus 20 is equal to the exterior angle of 5x minus 6. A little bit of algebra will tell us that x is equal to 13. So once you have 13, you need to substitute it back into, you have a few choices. You can substitute it into this example right here. So 5 times 13 minus 6 is going to give you 59 degrees. And then you can go back to linear pair, which is going to tell you that angle 1 is 180 minus 59. So angle 1 is equal to 121 degrees. The other thing you could have done is substitute 13 into these two. So 13 plus 15 would have given you 28, and then we have 13 times 2 plus 5 is going to give us 31. And if we were to add those two together, we would still have 59. And since triangles add up to 180, we would subtract both of those and end up with angle 1 is still 121 degrees. So again, it really didn't matter what you did after you found 13. If you found 13, you can finish the problem and find the measure of angle 1. Okay, that's it for the two triangle angle theorems. This is Longo and I'm out. See you, bye.